Listen up, Rangers. Welcome to the Geek Chest. My name's Steve.
My name's Arnez.
And today we're going over a list of top 10 favorite NECA Pacific Rim figures.
Number 1 right here. The list is over, man. Moving on.
You're supposed to lead from 10 to 1.
Oh, I thought it was supposed to be like 1, 2, 3. Oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Also, that's probably might not be number 1, so.
You don't know.
Yeah. So for this list, we're going to go over my personal favorite Pacific Rim figures. Mostly mine, but yeah.
I
guess he has an opinion. He'll have something for this list. But anyways, this list.
Let me show you what I want to do to your collection.
No! Please no.
Our list, right, Steve?
Fine, ours. Even though I was the one that thought of the list and made preparations and got all the figures. It's ours. For this list, it's only going to be NECA Pacific Rim figures. Not any other company, even though there's not really anything out from other companies that are articulated that I'm aware of as of right now.
If somebody proves them wrong, please let us know in the comment section below.
Yeah, for the most part, NECA's where you go for your articulated Pacific Rim figures. So we're going to go from personal favorites, from 10 moving on up to 1. And we're going to start with the guy that doesn't fit on the screen very well.
Now you might ask why this guy's number 10.
For this very reason. Yeah. I love this thing to death, especially since you can actually light it up. Which what this is the 18-inch knife head. Which you can light him up. Looks really cool. He actually comes with a stand to help hold him up. But the problem with this figure is, even though he's articulated, he's not actually articulated because, like, I can move this arm, but then stuff just starts shimmying wherever it decides it wants to go.
He's too big,
he's too bulky, he can't really hold himself up. And he's really awesome, and he comes with a stand to actually hold him up right here. But if you want to add posability, you're probably going to need some more stands or a better stand in order to acquire that.
You don't like his vagina stand?
No. And then the other issue is because he's too big, he's only really good by himself. So he's a figure if you wanted one really good kaiju from this movie and you wanted a really awesome, impressive piece for your collection, this guy's going to be what you want. And if you guys do decide to pick this up, for number 9, we have the 18-inch tall Gypsy Danger, which you can push the button on his back of his neck. He lights up, looks super cool. The only thing is, he's really, really big. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to sit him down for a second.
If it works.
He doesn't sit all the way. Really love this figure overall. Like, the details on this thing are probably the best out of all the Gypsy Dangers that we've gotten. It's definitely on the big guy here. I don't own any of the other large figures, so it's hard for me to really gauge him compared next to, like, the Battle Damage one with the plasma cannon that came out, or even Eternal Alpha. But for the big guys, he's pretty much the one I would consider you would want. But if you guys really like Eternal Alpha or Eureka Striker, maybe you want to go with one of those. But for me, it's Gypsy Danger. And he's one of those figures that, just like Knifehead, if you just want to pick up one, and you want a really good version, and you want it to look impressive in your collection, I would go with this guy.
See, my issue with these things are, Steve, is where you place them at.
On the top of the shelf?
Yes.
Because it's the only place they fit, because there's no headroom.
That thing falls from up there, it's so big and heavy, it will break.
Yeah, but he's pretty well secured up there. He's pretty well secure. So if you're looking for a large and a charge action figure, definitely would pick up the large scale ones, especially like these older ones actually go for a little bit less now than what they used to. So it'd be a good time to try to pick these up.
How much you paid for yours?
I paid about $100 for this, but you can get them cheaper. Easily cheaper. Knifehead was $150. I think you can get them for less than $100 now.
What are you guys waiting for?
Yeah, so if you guys are just looking for one, I'd go with these. But for most collectors, and even myself, I personally prefer the smaller ones, which is why they're higher up on this list. And because of that, number 8, we have Leatherback, who is the second kaiju that we got out of the Pacific Rim line.
Is it weird that I think he's just a weird monster in general?
Yeah, it's kind of like the King Kong of the movie.
Yeah.
Overall, pretty cool looking figure. Like, the reason why he's on this list is he looks really awesome. Like, they did a really great job sculpting his details. The thing is, compared to most of the other figures on this list, his articulation sucks. Like,
but he's so big and like bulky for a small figure. Like, you can't
yeah, it's awesome that he's big and bulky. He's a big and bulky kaiju.
Yeah.
This is how I have mine posed. if you pick up this figure, this is probably how yours is going to be posed on the shelf as well. Because first legs are articulated, but there's not a whole lot going on back here in terms of adding to the posability. Like, his head can't really look down, so if you have him trying to stand upright, he's going to be looking up. And then if you move his arms, they only really move in one real direction. Like, there's no swivel to them or whatnot, so it's cool that there's bends, but they're bends for bends. They're not really practical.
He's pretty much just like the big guys, except he's smaller.
Yeah, so he's not quite posable as, say, some of the other figures. But he looks really good. So in terms, he's kind of just like a tiny little statue with some added articulator joints. Which works to mean you can still play around with him a little bit. But he's not as playable as a lot of the other figures on this list. Just like for number 7, we have the Flying Otachi. Which comes with this sweet stand that doesn't like to hold him up sometimes. So if you start moving it around, he tends to want to fall off of it, as I've come to learn. Now, things I love about this figure. Details on it.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking at, the details.
Amazing. Like, he looks really cool.
Wings. Oh.
He comes with a giant flight stand, so it actually holds him up. And one thing I've come to appreciate over time is how thick and bulky the stand is. It holds him up. I don't have to worry about the stand wearing out over time, so I think I complained about it in my review initially, but over time I've grown to like it a little more.
Change your opinion.
It still stands like a sore thumb, like I come to expect, but it holds him up very nicely. Now, the issue with him is, just like Leatherback, it's cool that he has a lot of articulated joints, but in terms of articulation, like, his wings can move a little bit, but if you have them flying up, they just fold down usually. They don't really hold up positions pretty well. And he's always going to look like he's flying.
He's limited to what he can do.
He's limited in his articulation. It's cool that he has articulated joints, but you're not going to be able to do super crazy things with this figure. But he still looks really good doing it, and the only thing, real major complaint about the articulation is I wish the legs were a little bit more posable. But it's still cool, like, what you can do with the wings. And you can still kind of put his head down, but for the most part, his head only really rotates a little bit and looks ever so slightly to the sides. So, in terms of articulation, that's what's going to hinder a lot of these early figures on this list. Is just the play value for me isn't quite as there with some of these other guys.
We already know what people are going to complain about. Those toys are not meant to be played with, Steve. You just display them.
Not for me! Alright, number 6, Arnez. Hand him over.
But Steve, I'm playing with him. Get a different one.
I need number 6.
Fine.
So, number 6, we have Knifehead, the battle damage version. You could essentially toss any of the figures here with the same kind of mold and articulation, like normal Knifehead, Trespasser, X-Head, Scunner. They all kind of fall in this slot category for me.
Yeah.
Because for the articulation, they're slightly better than the other ones that we've had on this list, so you can play around with them a little more. They can pose a little more. You can do a little bit more stuff with them. It's pretty cool.
He's still a pretty big figure, though.
Yeah, and he's a really bulky figure. The only major issue is he's still not quite as articulated as the Yegas. And that's kind of what hurts these figures a little bit in my eyes, is they look cool and they're very impressive, but again, play value isn't quite as much as some of the other figures on this list, and they still arguably have just as amount of good details.
But I still like him. He's pretty cool.
I love Knifehead. He's my favorite kaiju. It's the only reason I really own the big guy.
It looks amazing, though, you know?
Yeah, and the details for this guy are still phenomenal. And the articulation is definitely an improvement over the original. The original one, I would say, if you guys have seen it, and you probably seen me making fun of it on Super Important Reviews.
Do you have the original?
Yeah, that thing is garbage. I didn't bring it over here. It's right over there.
We're not reaching for it.
Yeah, you guys know what you want to talk about. It was originally supposed to be a Walmart exclusive, and they wanted it to be smaller because more people would probably buy it, so that's why they made it how it was. And it's not in scale with any of the other figures. It looks stupid. I hate it. This guy, in comparison, far above and beyond an improvement over it.
But Steve, I remember when you bought that guy, you were so happy until you opened him. Yeah,
and then I was just like, oh, cool. He kind of just stands on the shelf, and I don't put him next to the Jaegers because he doesn't look good. He like sat on my computer for a while, and now he sits behind all these guys. I'm half tempted to put him on eBay and see what I can get for him, but as of right now, still love these guys, but most of the Jaegers are still an improvement.
You said Romeo Blue, right?
Number 5, we have Romeo Blue, who was the Jaeger that we barely got to see in the movie. Got to see him for all of 5 seconds.
Which was the disappointing part, to be honest.
Yep, he fights Hardship, who we're actually getting a figure of, I believe, towards the end of the year.
Wait, they're actually putting a figure of him?
Yep, for Hardship. So he's actually going to have a kaiju to fight, which is the main reason why I picked this guy for this list over Tacit Ronin. Another reason I picked this guy over Tacit Ronin, for me anyways, is he's a little bit better articulated. And even though this figure I actually had some problems with when I initially got him, if you guys pay attention on the reviews, his leg was fused. I actually fixed it so it articulates finally.
He did something right for once.
Yeah, I decided to actually mess around with it. He has like a neat little gimmick, which isn't something crazy, but still works for the film. Details are great on this figure. But overall, I just really love this guy in general. And he's actually arguably one of the more articulated figures out of the line, too. Which is something I really love, especially out of the Jaegers that we might not really care about having in our collection. It's really cool when you see one of them actually shine compared to most of them.
Yeah, because those are the guys that were, like, not that important in the movie, so they just, like, usually would just throw crappy versions of them out and call it a day, you know?
Yep. So it's really cool to see an actual nice figure of.
Steve, don't you bring
number
that...
4!
No, that needs
Turtle
to be number
Alpha.
1. Number 1.
I cannot condone this figure as number 1, I'm sorry.
Okay, number 1.5.
Arnez's number 1 would be Eternal Alpha. Does that make you feel better?
Yeah.
It's mainly because he really loves the suit. I actually really like the suit too, and I'm glad that the figure is actually very well articulated.
I was just about to get to that, but this guy's actually really good.
Out of the original set of figures before they started remaking them and putting out the Ultimate versions, this is actually the best one out of all of them in terms of articulation, because he actually has arm movements, his elbow can bend, his elbow can rotate, his hands open up, his legs freaking move, like... He's amazing, and still holds all the details from the film.
And he can stand by himself, too, with all that
there
stuff.
You go. I haven't even tried, he's standing there. That's one of the reasons why I really have loved this figure, and it's one of the only ones, if they made a new version, I would actually contemplate picking it up.
It's okay, if he didn't, I actually would.
I would say, if it had light-up features, I'd buy it in a heartbeat. But for right now, I don't really see a reason to really make a new version of him. As per, say, Crimson Typhoon, who could use a new figure.
Yeah.
Number 3. Land Otachi.
Itachi?
Otachi. God, that's an old joke.
It's an old show.
It's true. Number 2. For this list, I put this guy up higher than pretty much every other kaiju, or actually literally every other kaiju that's come out. Because of all the kaijus, he has the most play factor. He's the most articulated. His arms can move in and out. You can bend him. You can pose him however you want. His head has the same articulation as pretty much the flying version, but since he's going to be looking like this for the most part, it's fine.
He looks better.
It works for me. You're not going to be really messing around with him too much. Like, he's not going to really be looking up and down a whole lot, so it's not a big deal. Legs, still a bit of an issue, but it's a little bit more fine on him for the most part. It's just you got to play around with it a lot to get it to sit right. Takes a little bit of finessing. But what was cool too is he has an articulated tail that's actually on ball joints. So you can actually pose the tail, which is really cool. Tail even has the clamps at the end, which I really do love. He even came with an accessory for his mouth for his Hakalugi move.
Oh, really?
Yep. And it was just for the around $60 price tag this guy came out at. I thought it was definitely worth it. Like, he's one of my favorite figures. And he's the most popular figure on Super Import reviews, too, so I imagine you guys love him, too.
Is he worth $60?
Yep, I still say he's easily worth it. He goes for actually quite a bit more nowadays.
Oh, sad day.
Yeah, because compared to the flying one, I would say you're better off picking up this guy over that one. Because the flying one, I feel like if you buy the flying one, you still have to pick up this guy anyways.
Yeah.
Because this guy works really well with it, and you can just swap out parts between the two, so it works really cool. But Otachi, the land version by himself, works with all the figures.
Yeah,
the flying one only works with Gypsy. So that's why I just always prefer the land version a little more. Speaking of Gypsy Dangers, number 2. Hong Kong Brawl Gypsy Danger.
You forgot this one, Steve.
That's Battle Damage. That's the second release.
This one.
That's the first release Gypsy Danger.
And a couple more up there.
Yeah, and then the Anchorage Attack one sitting over there because I used them in pictures.
Can you tell Steve likes this guy over here?
I do like them. I'm actually contemplating on putting these guys on eBay. I don't think I need as many Gypsy Dangers as I have. I've come to realize that.
He was a little too excited.
I just keep buying them, and we've been doing reviews, so I keep buying more of them. And then I just start piling up. But the definitive version for me is the Hong Kong Brawl Gypsy Danger.
Why?
Came with the most accessories. It's the best articulated one. He looks clean. It's the one you're going to want to have standing on your shelf. He works with all the other figures. Comes with the sword blades. He even comes with extra hands.
I don't know. I do like the battle damage one, though.
The battle damage was cool, but then I would say if you want that one, why not get the Anchorage Attack one with the missing arm and the plasma cannon? Which is another one I would say I would rather have that one over that battle damage one. I actually really like the Anchorage Attack one, but this one's just my favorite, just in general. And he's very well articulated, moves around very nicely. The only, I would say Turtle Alpha is a little bit more articulated than this guy is. He's definitely a little bit more posable, but this guy just came with more accessories than Cherno did, because Cherno came with literally nothing else. Well, this guy had
But Steve, he came with these guns right here. Look at this. Bam!
He came with a boat. And swords. And extra hands.
Okay.
For the money, this guy wins it for me.
He comes with a boat, he wins.
Yeah, because if I'm paying the same amount of stuff, I kind of want a little bit more for my buck. Which is why this guy's at number 2. And sadly, only at number 2, because there's one more figure that was quite more impressive. Before we get to it, though, some honorable mentions. I didn't actually grab them on my display case, but they would be Tacit Ronin's really cool. But Romeo Blue is a little bit more articulated, and he's a little bit harder to pose. Crimson Typhoon. Really love the figure in the mold, but his articulation's a little bit lackluster, especially with him being a first production run.
But he has so many hands, Steve.
He does have a lot of hands, but
them around.
They should be on ball joints.
Yeah.
They're not. And the Rubber Baby Otachi, because that thing's just funny and hilarious.
The what?
Rubber Baby Otachi. He was made out of rubber and he flops around. He's great. We did a review. We have reviews for pretty much all of these guys in Super Important reviews. I think the only one I showed you guys that we don't have up is Leatherback.
But somebody's going to say he deserves a review too, Steve.
Yeah, I had some people ask. It's just, I haven't gotten around to it. Hopefully, eventually, if I had enough people actually really asking for it, but it's been a while, so I haven't really worried about it too much. But for number 1, which is actually the newest figure we have gotten out of the line, is the Ultimate Striker Eureka.
You couldn't be more predictable, Steve.
Why is that? Because since he's the newest one, he has the best articulation out of all the figures.
Best paint job.
And also comes with a bunch of accessories to go along with him.
Yes.
For the same price tag as everybody else. And also has an open clamshell box where you can still display him inside of the box and he looks great.
Yes. That's why you're so predictable.
It's just hard to really knock him compared next to everybody else. Great, you could be like, oh, well, Neca, I like the figure. Sometimes have problems when I get him in. Quality control issues, even though Neca, if you get a hold of them, will fix your problems. So it's not a big deal.
And plus, isn't that what we're doing, is comparing figures in this list, and by far...
Yeah, this guy just wowed me more than the other figures. Because even for me, I'm not a huge fan of Striker Eureka. Like, the pilot really actually annoyed me in that film, but that's kind of like what they were trying to get at.
Yeah.
And he's cool. Not as cool as Gypsy Danger for me, or even Cherno Alpha or Crimson Typhoon. Like, out of the bunch, he's my least favorite. But the toy is fantastic. Like, even, like, they found a way to actually fit the arm blades into his arms.
Even before you took it out of the box itself was just amazing.
Yeah, the box is really nice. And this guy, like, he has articulated head. His head moves. You know how uncommon this is to be able to do that with
Steve
these
was
figures?
like, his head moved. Sold.
Yeah,
done.
Thank you. Here's my $20. Congratulations. And I just really loved it when I did the review. Still love it as of right now. It's definitely the best version of Eureka Striker I think you should be buying. And it's what actually makes me excited to pick up the Ultimate Gypsy Danger when it comes out.
So you're going to pick the Ultimate and sell all these?
Nah, I'll probably still keep a few, but I'm thinking about pitching a few of them.
Yeah, what do you have, like 5 of them? God.
I want to say 7 as of right now. I have 7 gypsies.
This guy. Steve, you're making Neca richer.
I'm fine with that. They share my videos. I'm okay with buying their figures on occasion. Then their alien line's amazing, so. This, I could argue, maybe Monster Arts, Figure Arts could do it a little bit better. Arguably.
But then their prices would be.
But then again, they would be like,
yeah.
would I want to spend $50 for something that's probably going to be a little smaller than this guy, but maybe a little bit more articulated? That's a little bit harder to debate. With the Godzilla line, I would easily say Monster Arts is the way to go. Unless you don't have the budget. But with the Neca, with their Alien line, that's the line that's just like, they're the best. You definitely should just be buying their line. I don't see why you'd be buying the other ones.
And if you know anything, we love our aliens.
We do. But that's it for our list of top 10 Pacific Rim figures. Please let us know in the comment section below what's your guys' favorite Jaeger or Kaiju from Pacific Rim. And help us to beat those Kaijus by hitting that like button, subscribe, become a Ranger today. See you guys in the next video.
Bye-bye.